Hey, how's it going? Dranus here. So, in the last video we went over all the items and possibilities. In this video we will cover the skills. At the start we are Shaman and Necromancer. I have the raised skeletons, of course, with the Undead Legion and the Will of the Crypt. Now keep in mind, the raised skeletons here says 15 plus 11, where 16 is the maximum level. I only have 15 in this one right now, because you can have a maximum of plus 10 points to the max level of a skill. So this one is level 26 of 16, and there is no possibility to increase this. It's also a good one to keep in mind if you have more skills than the maximum skill points that are available for a skill. The number here will turn red, and once it is red, you know you can remove one or more skill points from the skill to invest in other skills. So, as I said, I have the raised skeletons here. I can always recommend picking this one up as soon as you are level 1. I would also always recommend putting at least 1 point in Will of the Crypt and 1 point in Undead Legion, just because of the plus skills you can find early on in the game. But I would always recommend leveling up the raised skeleton first, before leveling up the Undead Legion and or Will of the Crypt. This is because the main skill of the raised skeletons is the base skill, and this will also increase your skeleton's armor, health, defense and the damage they deal. Skeletons can be summoned in multiple forms. So we can see here the little one with the big mace. This is the basic one. You don't really want this one, to be honest. It is the worst one. Can't really do anything about it if you have this. Only thing you can do is resummon them. The second skeleton you can summon is this one with the bow. It is a pretty good one. It deals physical damage, and the nice thing about the bow skeletons are they will stay around you because they have ranged attacks. The next level skeletons you can get are the skeletons with the scepters, those two here. They will cast fire meteors. They deal a lot of damage, and to be honest, these are my favorite skeletons. We also have the big ones. These are the strongest ones. These ones will do either fire, I believe, and deal massive damage. But yeah, I recommend the ones with the scepter because of the meteor and the more fire damage. You can't really control what minions you get, as I said before. Summon them again if you don't like the skeletal combination you have at the moment. Also keep in mind, you can see on the basic skill here how much summon limit you have on your skeletons. If we go take a closer look at the Undead Legion, this is a passive skill for your raised skeletons, and this basically reduces the skill energy cost, reduces the skill recharge time, and also gives you more summon limit to your total skeletons. So it is a pretty good one, especially to increase with +1 to skills. Then we have Will of the Crypt, also a passive bonus to your skeletons. More vitality damage, or elemental damage, increases armor and more vitality resistance. And the elemental damage is especially good for the mages, because these fire mages will throw down fire meteors. If we go further in the tree, especially if you're a pet build, I can always recommend picking up the Blight Fiend. Deals poison damage, acid damage, also deals physical damage. Has a lot of health, a lot of defense. The Blight Fiend looks like this. You have also the second skill, Rotting Fumes. I really wouldn't recommend putting too much points in this one, but just one, so you can reach the Blight Burst here. And I would always recommend leveling this one as far as you can, because it deals massive damage, massive poison damage, massive vitality damage, and also looks pretty nice. Then we have a passive here in the Necromancer skill tree, Call of the Grave. This is just a bonus for your pets. I can always recommend picking up this one, but yeah, it's up to you. If you want to invest these points in, for example, Master of Death, you can do it, but just 1 point. I always call these skills 1 point wonders. Same for the Master of Death, for example. So yeah, definitely pick these ones up. Then we have the Reap Spirit. It is required to have 50 in your mastery bar for Necromancer, but I would recommend picking this one up later in the game, especially because the Wraiths skill with pet bonuses. Can have a maximum of 3 summon limit. They deal massive damage. Also nice to have extra pets, because all your passives and auras will trigger on this one also. Pick this one up if you have the chance. And of course, as I said, the Master of Death, can recommend. We also have the Bone Harvest here, with the Dread and the Soul Harvest. If you just need an extra active skill, I can recommend the Bone Harvest just because of the slower target movement speed. And also the Soul Harvest will give you bonus to all pets again. So if you don't like the Call of the Grave or have extra points to spend, I can recommend the Bone Harvest here. Rest of the skills I would leave a bit behind, because most of them are not pet related. If we go over to the Shaman here, I would recommend picking Shaman as second class if you're level 30 or something. Before, it is not really worth it, because you're just leveling your raised skeletons. I can always recommend picking up the Mogdrogen's Pact, the Heart of the Wild and the Oak Skin, and I would also recommend leveling those ones up to the max level. It gives your pets more health generation, more energy generation, more physical damage. Also, with the bonus Heart of the Wild, more health, and the Oak Skin, so you get more armor, more retaliation damage, more pierce resistance, more AD resistance, and more defense ability. At 10 points in the mastery bar, you can also pick up the Briarthorn. I would always recommend this, and leveling this one up max level as soon as possible. It deals massive damage, and it looks very cool, I think. This is the Briarthorn. Then we have the Ground Slam. I would recommend putting points in this one, but only if you have enough points to spend. For example, if you can level up this one, I would recommend doing this first, because Emboldening Presence is a passive from your Briarthorn, and this will buff all your allies. And all your allies will also get more offense ability, more damage, more retaliation damage, more physical resistance, more bleeding resistance. So I would always recommend leveling up your Briarthorn full, and also the Emboldening Presence full. But be a bit careful with the Ground Slam. It is pretty strong, but I would then recommend putting more points in Reef Spirit, for example. The Grasping Vines, I also picked this one up just because I needed extra active. And this one also slows target's movement speed for 2 seconds. And also immobilize target. At the moment I'm Necromancer and Shaman, but for example if you have the Occultist class, you can also pick up the Hellhound and the Familiar. These two also give a special bonus to all your pets and all your allies. I preferred Shaman here, but you can definitely pick up Occultist. It's just what you like and what you want, and what kind of items you have. But yeah, I really like the Necromancer Shaman skills, especially the Reap Spirit here, because I never had this one before and it is pretty strong. So yeah, in the next episode we will continue with the Devotion Shrines. But for now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, and I see you in the next one. Bye.